Hey everybody, thank you for checking out this video. I hope you had a good trading day today, or if you didn't take any trades, I hope you're able to learn something and get a little bit better every day. As you know, I want to encourage you to take it one step at a time. The objective is being green or flat. Today I want to talk about my watch list for my second day of my post-market reviews. I had been doing them, like I said on the previous video, is something as I was typing it in on my blog post, which I have here displayed for you guys, tradefortime.blogspot.com. I've been working towards doing this visual learning tool, if you will, to kind of expedite my learning and hopefully share with you guys. Maybe you can see something that I'm missing, or hopefully you can take something from these videos and hopefully it'll make you a little bit better as a trader. But I think pulling up my watch list as I've done today and then going into the discussion will help keep me on track. I noticed on my video yesterday that I didn't too much cover anything other than Nugget, although that was my only trader, but it would have been good for me to actually at least do a quick review step by step or ticker by ticker of everything on my watch list, because I noticed a number of them did play out, some of them didn't do what I expected it to do. So doing this review will, I think, help me see it, talk about it, learn from it, and then be able to come back and review it, and just gives you guys a second look. Maybe you didn't see something that I saw, maybe we looked at them differently, or maybe I missed something, and you can definitely chime in on the comment section below, or go to my blog where I'll provide the link in the comment section below. But let's go ahead and get into it. So SPY, I was looking for a small gap down to start the morning, had some heavy selling on futures overnight, could go either way, and this was true in the first 10-15 minutes of the market open. There really wasn't too much of a direction, although on the 5-minute chart you can see there was some downtrend. But if we were going to take a look into the 1 minute, it's pretty choppy activity. It washed out immediately off the open, then it ripped up, then it sold, and then kind of teetered along, and it sold off some more, but then it started to rebound. So it was really difficult to kind of see which way that the market was going to open up coming off. And one thing that's worked for me is kind of, if I wasn't certain of where the market was going, not necessarily trade an ETF or a stock that was heavily dependent on the SPY's direction in the first few minutes, first 2 to 5 minutes of the open. Although there's a lot of volatility, it's easy to get chopped up, especially if you don't have all the factors that may play into an individual ticker, or just you don't have the right size. And I have been successful with some scalping of the open when I size in accordingly, but as of recently working on my bigger picture idea, I wanted to be able to be confident in whether or not or confident before I took a trade, and not just kind of shoot in the dark, if you will. But moving back on from the SPY, we'll pull back up my watch list. I also like to watch spot, and traditionally I hadn't had these on my watch list every day, especially since I moved to this new format, which I do really like. And feel free to reach out if you guys would like to take advantage of this. This came over from Nice Trades, NIC3TRADS.blogspot.com, and he kind of created this format, and it's been really helpful in the last month or so. I did it all through the month of June using this layout, but I'm adding these back into my daily watch list plan, and as you see, broken down into 3 different categories: evening plan, what I'm thinking to look for in the morning, what happens, what's confirmed, and then the post-market review, which I had been typing, but like I said, now I'm doing full-on video recording, so I may just ultimately delete this, but I do kind of want to leave it just in case any news comes out, or I want to put some important comments on it. But continuing on, the spot, which is gold. Keep losing I had it where I need it, so my apologies. It's been having some really good action over the last 3 weeks or so. It's been phenomenal. It's breaking out to all-time highs. Of course, you guys know the Brexit came out. That's why we had the monster fueling to the rip back on highs. These are all my support and resistance levels down here. Up in this area, you're pretty much in no man's land. So I will probably the next day or so start to rechart this newfound area. But I've really been using whole and half dollar marks, just keeping wide stop, try not to add in to a loser or anything like that. But going back to my, where is it? Pushed towards 1377, has sold off some closest to open, looking for continued range, potential sell-off day. I'm thinking at some point we will get some wash. We don't have to get anything from this ticker. Uh, Gold will go as far as it wants to. As you know, I like to trade nugget, so I'm gonna stay safe on the front side. Kind of hindsight looking back, especially discussing with my trading partner, it was almost a given that gold was gonna ramp like it has been, and it would have been much easier to have a short-term long swing. But that's hindsight. So only thing I can do at this point is just try to make good trades based off specific levels with specific price targets, and most importantly stop. So if I am going to be short nugget or any other gold miners or gold related tickers or even silver for that matter, I have to make sure I use good risk management. I don't want to abuse myself unnecessarily and blow myself out of the water while gold and the miners are reaching all-time highs. There's no telling how high they can go, but we got some decent action. Spot or nugget kind of stayed strong versus spot, and I do have that on my watch list as well. A nice gap up, big pick. My bigger picture plan was pushed to pre-market highs of 165, anywhere as high as 170, looking for a fail, short pops, or my reactor trade right out of the open was a quick slam out of the gate for a scalp. And we kind of got both of those really. Looking back, it would have been better to have a long bias instead of a short bias, even though I do think nugget is going to be due, or really gold as a whole is going to be due for a substantial pullback day. But just let it come. I'll let the day present itself to me, and there's no reason to miss out on opportunities because I'm too tunnel vision on one side or the other of a stock trade. But it's learning experience. Nugget was again the only stock that I did trade today. I just really enjoy trading it. I like the technical indicators. I like the technical levels of it, and especially the range. As I continue to get better with my bigger picture plans, having a stock that's going to move 7-8 points in one direction and then it's going to flip directions is really beneficial, because it doesn't take much to add up. I mean, you guys can do the math. 100 shares, 5 points. It's $500 on relatively low risk. And as I continue to develop as a trader, I think symbols like nugget or TSRO or any of these high flyers, it'll really make some substantial gains, both bigger picture and scalping. I'm not opposed to either of the two. I've been working on bigger picture in the past 6 weeks or so, or past 3 months, but working with my trading partner on it and kind of just taking it stride for stride and trying to get rid of some bad habits, create some new ones, some good ones positively affect my trading performance. But yeah, sorry, I got a little off cue there. LABU is another ETF for the biotechs. This was a good watcher. We had this on our plan. It was on the 29 area, close to open. Could see some pullback if spot doesn't bounce. But my trade plan going into the market open changed slightly. It changed a little bit after this. I normally try to have this done by 7:45 Central, 8:45 Eastern. I'm on Central Time Zone, but I ended up drawing this 29.55 or 29.50 resistance level. I went back on the daily and I found that, and I was thinking, okay, if this thing pops over and SPY is holding or bounces, this thing could rip. I didn't do a good job of identifying secondary and tertiary levels, but the 29.50 line in the sand, which you can see here clearly, it served as a good benchmark for a potential move one way or the other. Previously, when in my trading, I wouldn't have these type of levels marked out, or I wouldn't be certain as to where to put them. So I a lot of times see myself on the wrong side of the trade, or be fighting a losing battle. But understanding how trends work, how SPY is working with the ETLs, it really has started to bring me around full circle. And as you can see, once it did clear this 29.50 level over here, closed above it, it was all clear skies from there. I mean, ETLs will go further than you think, but really any stock on a technical breakout on a sound level that's been tested previously, previous support, it becomes resistance, and same for the opposite. it just rolled all the way up. I mean, there's not too difficult of a trade, of course. Hindsight is 2020, but we had this thing planned out, so that was good to see. But the one I'm really proud of here is TSRO. This was I'll comment on the not much activity pre-market. We'll monitor for the 85 breakout. Could push more, especially if markets agree. And I do go in chronological order, so from top to bottom is how I start. So as you can see, maybe some market factors might have changed my opinion, or may have seen something else and I didn't come back to the others, but my overall sentiment was what the SPY would do off of this 208 level coming out of the open. And if it washed, then okay, things might pull back, but then if it cleared and ripped, especially with the fear of the market being gone or bulls taking back over from shorts getting caught, then we can see some really good pushes. And what was interesting about TSRO, it had a monster gap up on the daily, and is now into all-time highs. So I identified the 85 level here, as you can see, before this day, of course. Let's see if I can. Yep. When I pulled up my daily chart last night while I was scanning, I could see, okay, clearly it's at 85, is the whole $half mark. It's at all-time highs. If it does break over the hit, there it can go as far as it wants to. But sure enough, coming into the open, go back. Shucks. Screwed it up. Do 5 minutes. Here, and we didn't have much action pre-market, but it opened up at, what was it, 82.29, and almost immediately in the first 5 minutes it was over at 85. Anything after there is just gold right there. All you have to do is set it and pretty much have your stop, but it goes as far as it wants to go, ride the trend until it tells you otherwise. Of course I was occupied with Nugget, but it's good to see that it worked out. Moving on, TWLO, some gap down below 34. We like to see a wash and open, then set up for a red to green move if Momo kicks in. Momo is momentum. Pulling over on the chart, 5 minutes as well. We had some selling right at close. It opened up a little low, shot down for briefly, and then shot up. And then I normally would look for a little bit more wash than this, but given my plan and how close it was to red to green, this was what I was looking for. So had I not been trading Nugget, I would have had my attention back up on this red to green cross here. Like, I like to see it go over. You can see it test. Sometimes it comes all the way down, sometimes it doesn't, but this was the move we were looking for. Of course, you never know how far it's going to go. Take profits along the way, but this is what you want to see. You want to see some selling and then get bought up. That's what the wicks are for. Then a nice push over and then get bought up again off the red to green. Then just see it break highs. Sometimes they'll break, teeter off, and either consolidate for the rest of the day or fade back off. But this is a solid move here. So get some good position size, have your good risk to reward, just let this trade run. Those are mostly those are all the tickers. I did kind of go back and forth between a few that I did see in chat over at IU, but mostly I kind of stuck with what I like to trade. Now, speaking specifically on my trade for Nugget, it was over here in the early morning in this choppy action. I was getting short after the wash under my technical levels here and the 162 level from pre-market that I identified. I don't have them drawn here because there's always an assumed whole $half mark. But what's important is being comfortable with your plan and expecting results. May that be the results that you want or results that you don't want. But if I can leave anything with you guys from this video today is don't let a trade, good or bad, psych you out one way or the other. Like, I had a nice score on this Nugget, and it felt really good to see my idea work the way I wanted, even though it didn't do exactly what I wanted right when I started the entry, but I was able to stay true to my game plan, stay true to my idea that I had before I went into the trade, and I executed it. Of course, I can nitpick it can get better and all this other stuff, blah blah blah. But what I want to leave with you guys is be comfortable with the trade and allow your ideas to work. When they do, okay, next trade. Your objective is one good trade at a time, every day, and a little bit will add on to a lot. But thank you guys for watching, and have a great day.